precisely. Two best buds, precisely. Drinking beer and talking about stuff, precisely. Bo and Tony, precisely. Playing and reviewing games, precisely.
How's it going, everyone? This is Precisely Podcast number 8, and I am with Tetris-hating motherfucking Tony.
What's up, guys?
And also special motherfucking guest, Jaybaam, a.k.a. Team 1Up'em. How are you?
First of all, lover of Tetris, by the way.
Me too.
Love it. You don't like Tetris?
I'm not a big Tetris guy. You know, I was into it when I was younger, I guess. And
I don't think he was.
I feel like it's
kind of like the girl
not
thing, right?
that good.
Yeah.
I just, no, I'm not into Tetris.
I mean, they've only done scientific studies to show that it actually helps with PTS. I can't be that brilliant.
PTS?
Yeah, you didn't hear about this? Tetris has been known to actually help people who are suffering from PTS. There's something about the gameplay in Tetris that actually brings.
Well, that explains why I don't need it.
That's the last time we're going to be serious tonight. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. Either way, he has a love-hate relationship with Tetris because I keep telling him to play it. I keep buying him Tetris games, and he doesn't give a fuck.
Well, I will say not all Tetris was created equal, man.
Yeah.
There's some bad Tetris games out there. Have you checked out the new Tetris on the Switch?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we talked about this for a while in our last episode.
For an hour and a half on the last podcast.
You could tell why they waited for episode 8 to talk to me. It wasn't as important as the Tetris Battle Royale.
Let's bring it back up. So the main subject on the last podcast was how awful would it be to be the 99th player out in Tetris 99?
It's just the story of my life, dude.
Are you him?
Are you that bad? 'Cause I'm not even that bad.
No, I mean, I'm like good at Tetris, but I mean, like, that shouldn't be like the best thing on your resume.
True.
Right? Like, you know what I mean?
No,
Like, I am.
Tetris shouldn't be on your resume at all.
I live the 99th player. That's my entire existence. Everything I do.
But you're not the 99th player.
No,
All right.
not the 99th player.
Thank God.
Because I haven't played it yet.
I imagine.
Otherwise, we were going to pack up and leave.
I haven't played it yet. I mean, I could suck at it. It could be great.
It's amazing.
I heard about it.
Hey.
I got to check it out.
You know, save yourself some time. Don't play it.
Don't play. And that concludes our podcast for this evening.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was interesting that they tried to do a retake on Tetris. You know, from what I gathered.
Again.
It's a battle royale. It is actually phenomenal. It's amazing what they did for such a simple game that you actually have to think a lot about. You know, you're battling other people. You're making tetra, whatever they're called, lines to destroy other people and mess them up.
When you say it like that, it sounds like a heartwarming family game. The whole premise of to destroy other people and ruin their lives to make you the 99th player.
Yeah,
well, no, you want to be the first. 99th is the worst. Yeah. So the whole podcast, the last podcast was think about the person that gets out 99th place. Like, what are they dealing with in their life right now? That you suck bad.
You just suck at life.
Yeah,
You just should fold it up now. It's done.
Yeah.
So I don't want this podcast to be the same thing as the last podcast because I was stuck on that subject.
So maybe we should just talk about really old shit then, right? Can we curse on this? Is we just a family thing?
Fuck
here?
yeah, we can.
Say whatever
This
you
is
want.
fucking ridiculous. Okay,
It is
I got it
family
out.
related. My parents listen to this, so it's fine.
That's fantastic. Your son just farted, by the way, if you're listening right now. It smells pretty bad.
I did not fart, did I?
Someone's
Yeah,
crop
that was
dusted.
definitely you.
No. It was definitely my dog. But my dog is here. He's 15 years old. He's just a ball of
It was
disgusting.
my foot.
And he smells like Bo.
He smells like.
Either way, so where are we at right now, Jay?
Where are we at? We're at my lovely house of retro decadence.
Hell
The
yeah.
Jaybaam household, sitting on my couch.
It is beautiful. So you let us into this household a little earlier today. Beautiful house. Love
I
it.
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Walk down to the basement, and literally I popped boners like left and right. I was just amazed by what I saw. Was it in complete order? Did it look nice? Was it displayed nice? No.
No way.
but it was all out on display, and
Jay
Oh
put it
my-
all out for us.
You know, when you're swinging
Yeah.
weight, you don't have to put a bow around it. You know what I'm saying?
you don't.
Hell yeah.
Amazing though, like you have systems that nobody's even heard about. Honestly, like I don't even know where to begin because I don't know how to talk about them.
The first podcast I ever did was with Johnny Iucci, and that was the Quest podcast. And,
Yeah, I've listened to
and
them.
it was the absolutely first one I ever did, and what was it? One I'll shout out to Johnny. I think he's a great guy.
Shout out to you, Johnny.
Johnny, you're the man. And you're also Boost Competition now, so you know. But well,
I've
no,
been listening
no,
to him. and
he's
actually,
great stuff.
I like him.
Yeah, he's good stuff,
Yeah.
man. But I said that, about 2 years ago on that podcast. I said, I'm a console collector.
Yeah.
I enjoy getting games. I enjoy playing games. But for me, the collecting end of things, it always starts with the hardware.
Yeah.
So when I have a lot of my collection out in other places. So the meat and potatoes of the things I really enjoy are these really rare, obscure consoles that a lot of people would have maybe no even interest in touching. I just don't care. It's not about popularity for me. That's what I get excited when I find a rare console.
When you find something
yeah.
new.
And preserve it, and
Absolutely.
get it back to working.
What's the rarest console you have? You think?
Though I think the rarest one in the house right now, there's one's a console, one's a kiosk.
Right.
Right. So the one console I have in here that's rare, we're not talking variants because I know you can come tell me there's like a million N64s.
Yeah.
What is a rare console to
Fuck
me?
N64.
It's not my favorite system, but
No,
but it's
neither.
got like 12 games on there that I couldn't live without. So it's
Yeah.
good. I have it's from Taiwan. It was probably the greatest 16-bit console ever created. It just happened to be about 5 years too late, and that's called the Super A. That's Super capital A Can, right? Super A Can from Taiwan.
All right.
It was made during the 32-bit generation.
Okay.
There's 11.
So they were
ga-
late to the game.
They were
for
really
sure.
late to the game, and when you look at this thing, if you've seen any type of Super Nintendo clones, out there, you're gonna look at this thing, and you're gonna literally look and be like, oh, this is one of those knockoff Super Nintendos from
Yeah.
the early
So
2000s.
does it have like different games
Eight.
from any other console?
Every game that was for that system was unique to that system.
Awesome.
There's 11 of them.
And it's only Taiwan games.
Only Taiwan. What's interesting is
Wow.
I only have one game for that console. I mean, granted, that's almost 10% of the library, but I have one game for it. That's how obscure this console is, and it's really interesting because it's another puzzle game. Speaking of Tetris, but what's cool about it is the caricatures at the bottom are actually politicians from Taiwan from that era.
That's
You know,
funny.
you know what I mean? So like
Wow.
it's really cool. You get that different cultural experience when you pop this thing on.
Yeah.
It's called Zoom Boom. ZOOMBOOM, Zoom Boom. And I like that because I could actually spell it.
Yeah.
But it's a cool console, and it's something that, like you said, you walk downstairs and no one's gonna know what the hell it is. And
No,
that's where
I
the
didn't.
preservation.
Dude,
is.
half the
So-
stuff you had down there I'd never fucking seen.
I mean, I don't even really remember what it was. It was cartridge based, not CD.
Yeah, it's cartridge. Yeah.
Okay.
Downstairs we have some cool pieces. Sort of CDs are concerned.
Tell us about
Um,
the consoles that you have.
I have CD based wise that I feel like are noteworthy are the FM Towns Marty, which was a
What is that? Yeah.
It was a Japanese release only. 45,000 were produced in Japan. So you got to ask yourself how many survived. And
And what's the company?
that was the FM Towns Marty. It was
Okay.
it was the world's first CD based home console.
Wow.
And
And what year was that?
I'm trying to think if that was 90.
92?
90. It was 92, I believe. 92, maybe 93, 92. It came out before the Sega CD. But it was
That might
definitely.
have been 91 though.
It was it was early 90s. I'm just trying to
Alright.
remember the exact year. We also been drinking all night, so
all night.
all night.
Yeah.
Kinda ish.
All night.
The other interesting CD based console I have on there is the Amiga 32 CD. What makes that one, the particular model that I have downstairs, interesting is that was the North American release.
Okay.
This only saw a release in Europe and in Canada. There was a Commodore, was bought out by Amiga, and
I did not know that.
yeah, and through some legal issues that they were having in the U.S., they decided not to distribute in America. It was only in Canada. So the NTSC model is pretty rare.
Wow.
So that was the second but it was the first in the Western markets, but the second to ever be produced.
Wow.
So I like those. Those are cool.
Yeah,
you,
definitely.
you have history in your basement, like insane history that people do not even know about, and it's phenomenal. Like when I walked down there, like it was, my eyes couldn't focus on one thing. They were just going all over. I was just like, holy hell, what are these foreign objects in my peripheral? Like, what is going on right now? There's so many systems that I do not know that maybe I've seen other people take pictures of that are like across the country in Japan or whatever. Like I know it's an original Famicom, beautiful system, way bigger than the original Nintendo, but it essentially was the Nintendo system, right, in Japan. Never seen one in person, and that was, from what I recall, that's like a 3.5 floppy almost, like what it takes, right?
So what you have is you had two Famicons down there. So the original Famicom is the size of a top loader NES.
Okay.
Right? And it had the controllers attached to it. We'll show
Yes,
some still
like the
pictures.
gray
Yeah.
with the red highlights.
The one that you're talking about is the Twin Famicom, which was a
Yes.
collaboration between Sharp and Nintendo for their Famicom.
Okay.
And so Famicom made a second console, which was their disk system, that obviously had to work with the Famicom. So you had two. It was very similar to, the 32X or the Sega CD. It had to work with the Genesis. Well, that disk system had to work
Or
with
like the
Famicom.
N64 DD that never really
Yes,
came.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Those weren't new concepts. That was something that was already being done. So the red one that you were looking at was the Twin Famicom. So that was both consoles combined into one.
Okay.
Really interesting side note about that. Everybody calls it the Famicom, right? The original NES, but they couldn't legally call it that because Sharp had a convection oven called the Famicom.
Oh,
So hear me out on this, right? The only Nintendo product that was ever been called the Famicom legally was that Twin Famicom. And when you have the load up screen that comes up, it says Famicom on it. And that's
Okay.
because they worked with Sharp on it.
Interesting.
So every other Famicom out there is named the Family Computer.
Yeah.
They wanted to they inherently knew that this was the name people were going to call it. It was actually Gunpei Yokoi's wife who suggested it, that we should call it the Famicom for short. And so it's pretty cool actually, that piece on two
wives
historical
know.
notes. Yeah, damn right. Women are just
Yeah.
smarter than guys. We had this
know.
conversation at the bar, I believe.
They know what we don't know.
That's right,
Yeah.
man. So
Absolutely.
that's a really cool piece. I think aesthetically it's gorgeous. Right?
It's a beautiful system.
Yeah.
I mean, what other system? I can't think of one that's that vibrant of a red
Panasonic Q.
color. Okay.
Panasonic Q is not vibrant red, but Panasonic Q is prettier than I think any other console ever
What
made.
color is that?
Well, it's got a mirror finish in the front. It's
Oh, you're talking about the
yeah,
GameCube?
GameCube, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Have you seen that? Did you see that in his display case,
Yeah, I
Tony?
believe so.
when you plug that in, the blue LEDs they're basically a halo around the buttons. It just glows, man, and it
Yeah.
just reflects off of itself. It's, in my opinion, the best looking system ever made.
So the only thing that was special about the Panasonic Q was that it was a DVD player, right? That also played GameCube games.
It was a big deal back then. I mean,
Huge, because GameCube games were half the size of the DVD,
Yeah, they were super tiny.
Yeah.
3 inches
Nintendo
across.
missed the mark. Like they did a lot, right? So Nintendo missed the mark with CD-based gaming. We know that story. We don't have to go down.
I mean, that was one of the biggest things about PlayStation 2 being so hot, was that it's a home console and it's also a DVD player.
Yeah,
And
that
then-
was really popular.
And then Xbox was like, hey, we can do the same thing, but you need a remote.
Sony was brilliant with that.
Absolutely.
Xbox missed the mark on that. They had to, basically catch up on that. And Panasonic Q for the GameCube came way too late, and it was way too damn expensive. I mean, this was an expensive piece of hardware. So once again,
How much was it when it came out?
oh man, maybe 900. If I had to guess,
Holy
yeah, I mean, it was up there, man. And don't forget, it was a Japanese release only.
Oh, I did not
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. So it wasn't out here.
So it doesn't play NTSC.
You could get modded. Those all right. So to have a modded Panasonic Q, it makes it very expensive because the board that they were using to mod that is very hard to come by. Very hard. So just letting you know now as collectors, normally when you mod something, it doesn't
It
necessarily.
decreases in value.
Yeah, in this instance,
Yeah.
it goes up in value. It gets more expensive.
Oh wow.
But they did have discs that you could put in that would boot up so that you can play American games on a Japanese console.
Okay.
But let's talk maybe a little bit about Sony and how brilliant Sony was.
Please.
They
I mean, how brilliant they still are today.
This is true.
They're killing the market.
They're killing the market, but I think today we're starting to see with the Switch, the Nintendo start to make the right decisions.
Oh yeah.
And I think also Xbox in the future is going to be superior over both of them, honestly, in the next generation.
They better. I
feel like it ebbs and flows like Republicans and Democrats. Honestly, it's Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo's always a libertarian or Green Party that stays to the side that people always
people are
love.
Loyal as hell.
They always love.
Are you an Android or an iOS?
Yeah.
Right? I feel like Xbox better figure it out, because if they have another run,
I think they're figuring it out.
Well, this year.
Am I going to support them? Probably not. I think it's not going to be disk-based in any sense. It's all going to be cloud-based, this and that. But they're going to be like, hey, here's the whole Xbox library right here in this small little box that you plug in with an HDMI cord. And here's a controller that you can use from your past Xbox, last generation, and it's plug and play. Like they're about to be on the Switch,
Give me physical copies or I want none of it.
Tell me about it. I'm scared about it. I think Nintendo will be the last company that actually keeps physical. Even though they're going smaller and smaller than any other company.
It's what screwed them a few generations back, that concept of proprietary cartridges. I think it's what might save them now.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's go back to like PlayStation, right? We'll talk about PS2. So we talked about the Panasonic Q, and how that was a big mistake that Nintendo didn't have DVD capabilities back then.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how really crazy brilliant the PS3 was.
Beautiful.
They took their Blu-ray product and they sold. I don't believe it was actually legal. I don't know how they got away with it. The PlayStation 3s cost more to produce than what they were selling them for. But basically what Sony did was sell you a Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
And they made sure that they pushed their competition out.
Yeah.
By doing so. So Sony knew what they were doing. But it seems to me like Sony right now, since every other facet of their business, they're in some deep shit.
Really?
Yeah.
When it comes to consoles, though, like those manufacturers and companies, Sony, Nintendo, Xbox, Microsoft, like they don't care about the console sales as much as they care about the game sales. I feel like the consoles aren't making them money, but they care about the consoles in the sense that enough people get the consoles to buy the video games so that then they can make money.
You don't make money on the puppy, you make money on the puppy food.
Yeah.
And
absolutely. I mean, that's a great analogy for sure. For sure. So
I do think it's exciting times right now, though. I have to tell you, I think right now I am in love with the Nintendo Switch.
I am too.
We all are.
It's an amazing system, and honestly, like thinking about it, it's a glorified tablet.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It has two Joy-Cons next to a tablet.
Is it amazing hardware in there? No.
No.
Is it just absolutely perfect for what it does? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great size for everything.
That didn't sound right.
Wow.
Thank you, Goldilocks. Your Switch is just right.
Just right.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. It has got me excited. There was a point where I kind of like threw my hands up at modern gaming. I am definitely a hardcore retro gamer. The PS3 was where I kind of like petered out with like buying a lot of brand new video games.
Yeah.
I did. Of course, I bought a PS4 and I would buy a few here and there, and I loved them. The games that I got. It's not like I didn't. The Switch has got me religiously going to a game store now.
I agree.
So, yeah, it did work for me.
And there's so many titles physically and digitally that are coming out every day for the Switch. It's insane. And, like, a lot of the digital ones are just ports from, like the Apple Store, or Android store. Like, they're not anything that you necessarily want to buy, but it's amazing how many titles there are on the Switch. Like, there's 2 podcasts ago, Tony looked it up, and we're at like 1,100 games.
It's insane.
It has to be. It's probably close to 1,200 by now. Honestly. That was like a
probably
month
more.
ago.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
Probably more.
It's-
So what was the last game you got for the Switch?
Last game I got for the Switch. I'm trying to think what I got. What the hell is the damn name? It came out a year ago. The platformer.
Rayman.
No, I
Mario.
have. No. It was a digital release and it got physical copy, and I can't remember the damn name.
Ukulele.
Nope. Give me
Keep guessing, Tony.
I don't know, dude. What's a platform?
Wait, Dead Cells.
What?
Dead Cells.
Oh, Dead Cells. Yeah.
I needed a minute. I'm sorry.
What's a platformer?
No, well.
Get the fuck off this podcast.
Did you just say platformer?
Dude,
I
I don't
missed
know.
that as a
The,
platformer.
I don't know all the breakdown of types of games.
Tony's amazing. We'll probably take this out of
He's
the
like
podcast.
he's like the type of guy you ask for a left-handed hammer. Go find me the left-handed hammer, Tony.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, that would be me.
That would be
honestly.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
I need a.
When it comes to
I need a
tools, yeah.
spatially sprocket, please. Thank you. I'm like, you know what?
I know video games. I don't. Yeah,
What's-
tools. Yeah.
Let's talk about the weird life I live. I'm an elevator technician by trade. I've worked construction, heavy repair, and maintenance. I know my tools as well, Tony. I feel like I'm caught in the middle of both worlds. Do I know what it's like to be this blue-collar slob in the middle of the day with greasy...
It's like if-
yes.
It's like if Tony and I had a kid right now, as an adult, it would be you.
It's a good-looking kid. That's what I'm saying.
And he collects very well.
The kid's got spending power.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh yeah, I gotta tell you, you said something before about, things in the basement. What's been interesting over the last few years, they haven't just been in the basement. Everything that you've seen down in the basement has been in and out of public viewing and letting people experience stuff like that. And
I want to get into that. Like,
yeah, I want to.
You are the epitome of the retro community in my eyes. Like, I've been following you for a very long time. You, not to like sound like an idol or get on my knees for you or anything, but like you literally like care about this community, whatever it is. Like, and I want to talk to you about what the community means to you too. But I mean, you started off, for me, when I started following you was at Jaybaam, and I remember at one point in your Instagram, you're like, big things are changing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, you're already posting awesome content. Like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, your Instagram handle changed to Team 1Up'em. And I want to ask you, what is Team 1Up'em to you?
It's an interesting thing. I mean, like, I'm still living it. I feel like I'm still in the Big Bang,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's like you have to define something that you don't really understand yourself.
Yeah.
It's been a weird year. Let's start there. Jaybaam
Has it only been a year?
Well, it's over a year now.
Okay.
I would say we're pushing close to a year and a half of 1Up'em. Maybe we'll just start at the beginning. My name is Jay.
Yeah.
And
Hey, Jay.
and I never had social media before, and I lived this lifestyle. And one day I woke up and I was like, I think I just want to kind of talk to other people that are into this now.
Oh, yeah.
So I opened up an Instagram page, and it just turned into, okay, my name is Jay, my last name is Bamandi. I'm going to put Jaybaam, and then it became like its own thing now, right? Like, and I started meeting people and talking, and it really, really took off. And I started looking at my private collection, and I was like, man, I really like interacting with people, and I don't think it all should be locked up in my basement. And I'm not saying I have the best collection in the world. I'm not saying I have the worst, you know what I mean? But I thought I did have some cool stuff, and I want to be in a room with people and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I started to do events, you know what I mean? Like, and they started out for all the right reasons, right? Like, the first event I ever did was to help raise money for this girl, Brooklyn, whose father was in our community.
That was your
Brooklyn,
first event?
That was my first event ever.
Mike the Shiz?
Yeah, Mike the Shiz.
Shout out to you, Mike.
Yeah, Mikey, man. And by the way, Mike,
Amazing dude.
I've been paying attention for the last few years, man. That girl is growing up to be a young, beautiful little lady.
Yep.
And I'm so excited she's doing good, Mike. I have been paying attention.
Amazing dude.
Yeah, it's
So
good.
happy for you and your family.
It was a happy outcome, man. Happy outcome.
I didn't realize that was your first event.
Yeah.
It seemed like you've been doing this for a long time
Well,
before that.
prior to that, I was just doing stuff for real fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was like to me the best thing I've ever done ever.
So
right?
did that
Something with
kickstart
like a
everything?
purpose.
Yeah, that was a real initially it was just I'm on my lunch break. I've got this AC converter for my battery. I'm tired of just taking pictures of stuff outside on the street. I want to take pictures of people having fun. So I started hooking up systems off of my car battery in the middle of Manhattan at lunchtime. And that's how I started interacting with people. And
Yeah.
it wasn't just like, hey, hold this and let me take a picture. It was like, you want to come play Mario with me?
Yeah.
Well, we only got 5 minutes. Well, come play. And it was really cool experience, and I really enjoyed it. I might still do that again. I might still actually be doing that. You just don't know because I'm not posting it. These are the things that I find that are pure, and
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like I've seen your IG where you take CRTs out like on wheels with a video game system, and you hook it up. And grant, like IG's like a 60-second video. Thank God IG changed to 60 seconds.
yeah, I know it used to be 15.
Instead of 15 seconds. But you had random strangers in New York coming up playing games on Nintendo, Atari, whatever. What does that feel to you? Like, why did you do that? How does it feel? What was the response from these strangers?
The best. I can't. It's hard to say the best experience. The most heartwarming experience I ever had doing that. I remember there's the VGDB. Nick came out from California like 3 years ago.
Oh, he's from there.
Yeah, and he's actually from Jersey, but he lived in California for many years. And we only knew each other from social media. And he hit me up. He's gonna be in New York, and one of my favorite things is what we're doing right now and what
Absolutely.
we've done already. This isn't the first time we're hanging out. He's getting to meet other people, and so I met up with him for dinner, and I brought a TV and an AC converter, and I brought a Sony PlayStation 1.
Hell yeah.
And we set up on a street, and we were in Chelsea, Manhattan, and we were there for 5 hours till 2 a.m.
Wow.
There was a homeless man that came up, and obviously he fell on some extremely hard times. This was a man who was not fresh to the street. He's been there a long time. And while I was hanging out with every type of person in the world that night, this man came up, and he was quietly standing in the corner watching. And I looked at him, and I said, would you like to play? And he comes over, and me and him were just playing Mega Man X, and he started crying.
Wow.
And I said, you all right, man? And he goes, yeah, man. He goes, the last time I had a home, I had the PlayStation. And this is the first time this is the...
That's deep.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's
Wow.
kind of... Yeah, it kind of summed up everything that I've done, right?
I have chills right now, like straight up, like. And then what?
Wait,
Did he play?
Yeah, me and him played for a long time.
Good.
And don't tell anybody. We also brown bagged a beer and had one together. I bought him a beer because I'm real like that.
Hell yeah.
I don't need the political correct bullshit. I had a lot of fun with that guy. We had
Hell
a good
yeah,
night,
dude.
man. And we were just two human beings who had a moment. But that really kind of sums up what I really appreciate about some of the moments I've had doing this. It's about sharing childhood stories or introducing somebody to
Genuine
something
interaction.
That's all I give a shit about.
Yeah.
It ain't about the like button. It's
Yeah.
never been
I think
about
we
that.
get that every time we hang out with him. That's why we like. We're always
Ditto.
excited. Like,
Ditto.
go see Jay. It's exciting because
Yeah.
it's always real. It's 100% in the moment. I feel like.
Thank God they're not always recording.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
so we met you probably, less than a year ago, I guess. And I did one of my biggest trades then. I had a World of Nintendo cabinet that I traded you for a Sega Dreamcast kiosk, which a lot of people told me that I was dumb as fuck to do that type of trade. And I said, fuck you. This World of Nintendo cabinet has not done anything to me. I have no room to display it. I want it to go to someone that's great. I actually had it on eBay for like a month or two. Had 80 fucking watchers on it. A bunch of people messaging me about it. And I had it at a high price because I knew either someone wanted to buy it or I was waiting for you, essentially, or someone like you.
Well, we'll just
You know?
tell all the naysayers, you ever want it back, it's always yours.
No, I don't want it back.
But no,
I don't want it back. I am so happy that I
It
have
looks
that
good in your
Dreamcast
basement.
kiosk.
It looks good
thank you.
stocked
Dude,
up.
it looks beautiful.
I like
I did nothing with it.
the
You
same.
know, I bought it right away as soon as I saw it on Craigslist.
The trade worked for you the same reason why I don't collect comics anymore. You know, and I had a Silver Age comic book collection that a lot of people would have freaked out about. No, and obviously no one in this community knows that.
I have no idea
Like
what
no,
that means.
like I collected 1960s, early 70s comic books that
Okay.
like all the people you're seeing on the big screen now, all those characters, I had all their first appearances.
Ant-Man.
What? Yeah, yeah, I had.
Really?
Yeah, I
He was
had.
from the 60s?
That was
I-
the
no,
best
no,
one
not-
you could pick
not-
out.
not-
No, I'm thinking
not,
of like
not
the most
Ant-Man in
obscure
particular.
one that wouldn't be in
Ant-Man's
the
pretty
1960s.
pretty old character, but no.
Oh,
But
alright.
we're talking Silver Surfer. You know, we're like
Ratman. How about Ratman?
No,
Captain
not
Marvel,
Ratman.
right?
I don't have
joking
Captain
about
Marvel.
Ratman.
No, that's big money. But I did have a really good collection. But I said to myself at some point, I was like, you know what? These things are just sitting here, and I don't interact with them.
Exactly.
So I went and shifted heavily into video game collecting because I enjoyed it more. And somehow I kind of understand how this trade worked out for you. You
Yeah.
get to interact with that Sega Dreamcast.
Oh,
For
so
me,
much.
For me, it was a great trade because that's actually a piece from my childhood. I shopped at KB Toy Stores, and that was the damn case that I would stand in front of.
Wow.
You know, and that's why that particular piece that's inert and doesn't do anything
Yeah.
does a lot for me because that's just a childhood wet dream right there.
Yeah.
You know, so
Trades are amazing.
best way. I don't want your
Do
money.
you-
I want your friendship.
Do you want to talk about this trade that we're
Yeah,
doing?
we can talk about
Like
it.
why Tony and I and my wife are here
Yeah.
at your household right now?
Well, we'll talk about a trade that people are going to tell me I'm crazy for doing.
Yeah,
right?
probably actually.
Because
Yeah.
like I'm getting in this particular trade, I'm getting a shit ton of common stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's not about what everyone else thinks. It's about what we could do, right? I have 2 kiosks that I don't need,
Yeah.
right? And I know that you really enjoy collecting kiosks.
Unfortunately, I do.
Yes, I have a few myself. It's a painful process
Yeah.
of collecting for them. So I had an original Xbox kiosk and I had a Wii U kiosk that's just only missing the demo unit.
Mhm.
You know, so they're pretty good pieces.
Yeah.
You know, you had a shit
And I hit
ton.
you up about a Wii U kiosk. I was like, hey,
Yes.
not to mention someone else's name because I forget his IG handle anyway. But someone was selling a Wii U kiosk, and I was like, Jay, hit him up, help me out with this deal.
Mhm.
And you messaged me being like, hey, I have one for cheaper than he's selling it for, which I don't even know that you knew the price for it. You're just like, I have it for this, and I just
Yeah.
want trade.
Yeah,
you know?
I
don't want money.
quoted you an extremely I love you good price.
Yeah.
And it's not for money.
You're a good man,
yeah.
Jay.
No, that's the point. Like it's going to go to a home where it's going to be enjoyed. You know, and I'm getting a whole bunch of common systems for it. I'm getting a lot of systems, people. Don't get me wrong. I didn't give it totally away. But
Yeah.
the reason why the trade works is because I'm going to take those said systems and I'm going to do a lot of events where we got a lot of young kids who've never experienced some of these retro consoles before get to experience them. I'll have a scenario with these consoles where parents are not going to be able to have something in common with their child.
Yep.
You know, at that particular moment. You know,
Yeah,
so like,
that's awesome,
yeah,
man.
so we're going to get some good mileage out of them.
So on top of saying that you had a Wii U kiosk, you were like, I also have other things that you might want since you're coming down here. And I'm like, well, what do you got? You showed me some pictures, and there's an original Xbox kiosk, and I was like,
It's hard to say no when it's
if
in
I'm
front of
coming down there 3 hours, you know, to see you for one, I might as well get 2. And the unfortunate thing to me is that my wife was like, you can get another kiosk, but
That's
you
not
got to
good.
take me out
That's
shopping.
you made a bad deal, bro.
I said, sure, babe. That's fine. Sure.
He also didn't set a price limit on. That's what I found out from his lovely wife. Who's
Yeah.
actually napping next to us.
They
as we
didn't
do
really
this podcast.
negotiate the deal.
Yeah, you
No,
did not.
we did not.
Boo just
so-
went, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm more kiosk hungry than I care.
It's a
for.
cool piece, you know. Kiosk to me is a cool piece. It's something that is it's interactive.
you can't get them anywhere.
Yeah, they're not.
Like, to me, that's one of the rarest things. And it's not about the rarity. It's like, I want to feel like a kid again.
Mhm.
Playing this video game system for the first time. And I'm laughing because talking to Tony on the last podcast, he was like, yeah, the last thing I want to do is play Halo standing up for 3 hours.
Just play the demo discs, man. You know, it's
No,
just better.
like, honestly,
I don't want to play anything standing up is what I'm saying. Dude. I'm past that.
I am unplugging all my systems to my main TV then. And we're only playing kiosks.
Well, then I'm only playing video games at my house.
You gotta admit though, Tony, it's pretty fucking cool when you're watching cable on a kiosk. That's all I'm saying, man.
I haven't done that.
Yeah.
No, it is fun though. I don't. It's different. It's a different style.
It
We
is.
play the Dreamcast one frequently, and that's always
Oh
fun.
my God.
Dreamcast is our interesting
Blitz
piece.
is our fucking game.
Yeah,
That's-
there's
I
a
lost
lot
my
of
voice
shit talking.
playing Blitz
It's
with
a
him.
good game, man. And that's a great kiosk too. In my opinion, the Dreamcast kiosk is a great kiosk for a person who's got limited space.
Yeah, and
Yes.
limited height because it's
Yeah.
pretty short.
And
I
can,
am short, Tony.
and can pick up things that are heavy because it's one of the lightest kiosks that I've ever lifted.
It's beautiful,
Yeah.
man. I've
Yeah.
had TVs that are heavier.
Oh my God,
You know?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I the only reason why I started letting these kiosks go, where it's just I have a lot, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just, you know, when you're going from location to location, like I was at Super Chief Art Gallery for a year, and then I brought my stuff over to Aviator Sports, and then I got they start to become more of a burden.
Yeah,
I
can understand.
so I was like, all right, I should probably slim down in the kiosk. They're not made for a lot of transportation.
No, they're not.
They're very
No.
fragile.
Yeah.
They are made for one store
One time.
and one store only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're
It's hard to find one in immaculate condition.
and they not many of them are robust.
Yeah.
In any way. So that was why I started to slim back on the kiosk thing.
Yeah,
But you're also talking to an idiot that's got an NBA Jam, a 4-player arcade machine in his garage, and a Neo Geo 8.
well, that just
NVS.
sounds like a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
It's really good. it's
Yes,
good.
yeah.
Thank you, Ralph from Gotham City Games. Thank you for
Shout out to you.
shout out. I love Ralph. I'll introduce you to Ralph one day.
So I want to ask you some personal questions.
It's big.
Gaming personal questions.
Okay, gaming
It's
person.
big. Took me a minute. What's your first memory of gaming?
First memory gaming. Yeah. Without being specific and totally honest, I would say my like maybe it wasn't Pitfall, but it was probably Pitfall with my older sister who's 7 years older than
On
me.
the
With our Atari
arcade?
Atari 2600.
Okay.
My sister's 7 years older than me. So I mean that was I was of the NES generation. I'm about to be 37 now.
Yeah,
So when I was a little boy, it was the NES, but my sister already had the 2600. So growing up, that was it. I grew up playing Pitfall and games like that, and
right.
Pitfall was her favorite. So that's definitely why that one comes to mind. Not the greatest system in the world.
But that's like
But
your
back
first
then-
memory, huh?
Damn right it
that's-
was.
So did you know you were going to be into video games then, or was that
I
just
think
like another
I-
thing?
I think I just,
You enjoyed it.
that was the generation, man.
Yeah,
Right. Like I was born in '82, man. Like
that's what you guys did. You threw
Yeah,
rocks
yeah,
at each
yeah,
other,
threw-
and then
yeah,
you
threw
played
rocks at each other.
Pitfall.
By 12, yeah, by 12 we were stealing cigarettes out of Dad's pack. But
Oh, yeah.
that was my generation, right?
I grew up with the Atari as well, and unfortunately my parents threw it out after the little antenna.
Yeah,
thing
it broke off and they could have just
broke
stripped it
off,
back. Yeah.
and Radio Shack didn't have it.
Yep.
They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we're going to throw this
So
out
it's
with
broken now.
46 games." And I'm like, I'm so young that I was like, "Oh, that sort of sucks."
So
but
that's why we do what we do now, right? We were of that American culture. We're out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, we live in a disposable world.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
we found that there's a community out there that doesn't believe in that.
Yeah.
We actively find these things, clean them,
I mean,
fix them.
nowadays we're all collecting boxes on things that we don't need to collect boxes for. And granted, I shouldn't even say that because they said that back in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know? But like, why collect? Like, why keep the box for your light up Mario, like little box with the question mark. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, like why
You
keep
have to
that?
be able to
Yeah.
let go.
Yeah.
I
But at the same time, who knows? 20 years from
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
that box might be worth more than anything. Like,
you know, it's funny. There's some things I'm willing to throw out, and there's some things I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, like there's 40 million of this console in the world, and I just got it yesterday, and they're making it for another 5 years. I don't know if I would save the box for that.
yeah.
But I do see the value in the cardboards, you know, throughout the years. I love
Absolutely.
marketing. I think that part of the collecting bug I have is loving the marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it still speaks to that inner child.
I mean, one thing that I saw in your basement is that you have amazing signs, like signs that like you don't see anywhere. You don't see in other collectors' pictures and this and that. Like you have rare motherfucking shit that I'm just like, wow, this is beautiful.
I'm eclectic with collecting.
I saw a Sonic sign that I was just like, I never seen this
dude,
before.
that's a cool piece.
You know,
I'm
like-
not gonna lie, that's a
yeah,
cool piece.
like this is dope. Does it light up?
Yeah, it lights up. It's not the original bulb. You know, it was
I just
it was
popped
from
one.
1990. So you know, it worked with a incandescent bulb. So like it doesn't. There's nothing original
Stop.
inside it, but it lights up. That was on top of my Sega Genesis kiosk, which I have getting fixed right now. We had an accident with it.
What happened?
Unfortunately, a ratchet strap broke in transit, and it blew apart.
Wow.
And it was
What
the
blew
most
apart?
the Sega Genesis kiosk blew apart. My favorite piece of my collection got
It
destroyed.
How does a kiosk blow apart?
Well, this one's made out of wood. So when it
What?
goes flying in the back of a box truck, because the bracket, not the ratchet strap, mind you, because I buy good shit, the bracket
In the van.
in the van
Yeah.
broke off the
Oh
wall.
my god!
So somewhere
a
between
Renovan.
somewhere between Manhattan and
Did
Brooklyn.
you get insurance?
You know, dude, it doesn't cover that shit, man.
I-
It's like
I'd make sure that it covered that shit. I'd get a lawyer for that.
that happened to me going to one of the coolest events I ever did, and it broke my heart because it was my favorite piece, but that's just the price you pay, I guess, for being ambitious and doing things that are different. You
Yeah.
know? What I do, I made sure I got every piece back together, and I will put money into it. I'll probably end up paying more than it's actually worth to get it fixed
Don't
because
we all?
I want to see that piece be preserved. And
Yeah.
like I said, it
definitely.
was no fault of my own. It was just a freak accident, and it sucked. But yeah, things like that kind of happen when
Yeah.
you're going to go out there and bring yourself public.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So when did you start collecting? Like when did you like obviously like we were all gamers at a young age. But like when were you like this is something that I want to do? Like you mentioned like the comic books and then switching over, but like what year was that? How long ago was
All right.
that?
When I was 20 years old, I was a young chef. Tony,
What kind of
I
chef?
was a sous chef. No, at that point I wasn't a sous chef. Sorry, we had a little joke about sous chefs before, so you're not privy to that. Haha. But I was a young chef, and I was walking down St. Mark Street, which is a very famous street in the East Village of Manhattan.
Well, I've never heard of it.
That's because you're sheltered. And they're also going to be ripping everything down and putting high rises up on it. And I'm heartbroken about that. Let's go back to a good memory.
All right.
You know, so I was walking past a little shop, and it had the NES in the window. It was a little storefront. And I said, oh, shit, I need that back in my life. Because I saved, you know, my original Mike Tyson's Punch-Out cartridge. You know?
Oh yeah.
And I got it, and of course it didn't work. And I was like, wait a minute, why is this thing not working? So I did a little research.
Yeah.
I realized you have to clean the contacts in there. So at 20 years old, I figured out how to fix my thing, and you know that was 17 years ago. It wasn't like everything was all over the internet back then.
Yeah.
So I had to search. So when I started that process started. Well, you know, I really want this back in my life. That's how it started. I mean,
Yeah.
I really want this game. I want Mario 3. I want Mario 2. Somewhere along that process of going, I want to reconnect with my childhood,
Yep.
it turned into, well, I never had that. And I always wanted
Yep.
that. And then it turned into, well, I heard about this, but I know
Yep.
nothing about it, but now I want this.
Yep.
And now it got to the point where it's like you could legitimately say, I'm so fucking crazy that I'm a preservationist. There's a line.
I need this.
But there's a line.
It's my duty.
There's a line where you go hobby, you're out of your effing mind to the I can almost say I'm a professional now, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I've crossed that line, you know. And
Yeah, you have.
there was a moment where it was real pure crazy.
Yeah. I mean, same way with me. Like, the only system that I kept from my childhood was Super Nintendo. And I'm
Best
so
system ever.
glad that I did.
Greatest system ever,
I agree.
hands down.
But at the same time, like, I wish I would have kept everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But playing those games, like, on special occasions, like, I remember, like, playing the Super Nintendo on the floor, like, just, like, 5 years ago with my friend on his birthday, and nobody else, like, came out for his birthday. And I was like, you know, we were drinking and stuff, and then, like, we ended up, like, back at my apartment, and we were up in my bedroom playing Super Nintendo, and he's like, dude, I miss this, like, this is like
That's exactly what
thank
it's
you
about.
for this.
Yeah, that's what
and I was
exactly it's
like,
about.
I miss this too, honestly. Like, I'm glad that I have this do this with you right now. And that was like one of the experiences. I was like, you know what? Like, I want to actually have like a nice living room that's like hooked up with old systems, because we all miss this. Like, at our age and stuff, like, we all grew up on this. We all played these games. Like, it's all about sharing to me. Like, it's great playing one-player games yourselves, but man, like, playing games like with friends or new friends or whatever, and experiencing the old fucking feels where you're just like, yeah, like, hell yeah, like playing like Smash Brothers on N64, fun as fuck. Like Mario Kart on N64, GameCube, whatever, like fun as fuck. Sonic on Genesis, like fun. All of it, like, it just gives you the good feels.
I think gaming in general.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That's what we were
I
playing.
think
the whole
gaming got
time.
too real at some point, and then when you looked back at the old
Yeah.
stuff, you're like, this is just good.
Absolutely.
It's just fun,
yeah.
and it's not even like it's wholesome fun. I mean, there's cursing, and
Yeah.
there's
no,
you
but
know, like,
like,
it's
you can
like-
put it down though too.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
put
you
it-
can be like, hey,
yeah.
let's just turn it off.
I got great 15 minutes out of this.
Yeah. There's not really a save feature, so let's just
Yeah.
turn it off.
I want to say for the record, by the way, my dog keeps farting through this interview, and I find it incredibly distracting. 'Cause it's horrible.
I'm smelling something.
It's
like
really bad.
crazy. I thought it was like
There's
your
also-
feet, my feet.
No, this is not feet, dude. This is if your feet smell like this, you need to kill yourself. Just no doctor's gonna fix that.
It's just dog farts.
It's just
Yeah, I didn't know what it was, but all right, maybe he needs to poop.
He probably does.
Maybe we need to take a break.
We
then
might need
for
to
it.
take a break.
Do you want to take a break?
I think Brody wants to take a break.
All right. So not only are you a game collector, Jay, but you are a TV collector, a CRT TV collector. Or
they're
is that redundant? Is that redundant? CRT. The T is.
The T is for TV. Yeah.
Is
I've had that internal debate in my own head while hitting those hashtags. Should I put CRT TV, or should I just put the V at the end? Yeah, you're right. The T is for TV.
Okay.
But
What's a CNR?
I don't know. Cathode ray? Cathode ray too. It's
You don't?
cathode ray. Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Okay,
I'll fuck
all
with you.
right.
Of course I do.
I don't know. I'm
Ray.
just asking. I really
It's
don't
in
know.
reference to the vacuum tube.
Okay.
You know.
So, how many motherfucking CRT TVs?
How many CRTs do
How
you
many
have?
CRTs? There you go.
Yeah. How
The
many-
fucking
how-
non-gamer gets it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a casual.
He's a
gamer.
casual gamer who knows his tools.
Tetris hating Tony.
Tool toting Tetris hater.
That's right. Dude.
A lot
Add
of
a couple
T's.
more T's in there.
A lot of T's.
Triple T.
Typhoid Tony, Tetris hating, TV loving, tool fanatic.
Dude, I haven't had the typhoid for a couple of years.
Yes. So how many CRTs have you owned, or do you own, or like where the fuck are they?
I maxed out at 300. I
Okay.
got myself down to about 100 now. Sometimes I like the whole Buddhist concept of living.
Yeah,
know,
you do.
know.
Sure you do.
Yeah, obviously reincarnation's big. But is act according to situation, and right now my situation mandates that I should have 100, not 300.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
But I at one point I did have, if it wasn't quite 300, I mean give or take 5, it was there.
Jeez.
You can do a lot of stuff with the CRTs. You can do artistic installations with it. You can just get downright to gaming. And I was doing it all, and I really
So
enjoy
what was
working
your
with it.
obsession with collecting them?
Listen, when I think about sitting Indian style in front of a TV, and I thought, oh man, I love the look of the CRTs, but I also treat gaming like, right, we got this bottle of wine in front of us, and there's clearly a meal that goes well with this bottle of wine.
Cake bread.
Yeah, cake bread. By the way, we do have a bottle of wine in front of us. This is not a joke.
Yeah.
But it's like
I'm
pairing.
guessing cake bread tastes amazing. Whatever cake bread is.
Cake bread cellar is a great bottle. Not to run on too many tangents. Go get it.
Don't go get it. It's an $80 fucking bottle of wine that Jay bought.
And I didn't drink it with a straw tonight.
Yeah, he
I
wanted to
should've.
drink it with the straw. He did not.
I did not.
Thank God.
But it's
shared
damn
it
good.
With us. It was good, actually.
That you get personality kind of leaches into how you collect, right? You can see the person in their collection. The CRT TV, the CRTs, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That was kind of like harkens back to when I was a chef, and I was a professional chef in my earlier years. I believe that you should pair things with the appropriate meal. You should take your retro consoles and pair them with the appropriate TV.
I agree.
Some of them functioned really amazingly. Some of them, just looked badass.
Yeah.
There was a reason for all of them.
So what's the best CRT?
Obviously, I believe Sony Trinitrons are
Yeah.
the best. If we're talking about off the
What
shelf,
size?
well, it depends on how good your back is. I've got the. I don't.
I agree.
All right, in my
When it
basement
comes
right now,
to that, do you know Trinitron
I have a 200
weights?
Yes,
Like,
Heavy as shit.
yeah.
I have a
So heavy.
238
Yeah, we had one.
pound.
Or two.
I have a 238 pound one in the garage right now. I have
What
a
size
two-
is that? Like 32 inches.
It's not 32. It's big. It's 30. I think that was their 36. No, it was
Oh,
36. Yeah, 36-inch Trinitron, 238 pounds. Don't ask me all the model numbers. I know there's guys out there and be like, you should get K759. I can tell you right now, Trinitrons in general are great.
Yeah.
This one in particular happens to be the heaviest one ever made.
Wow.
But to me, what I think
So
it's
much goodness put into it that you just had to have a buddy help you pick it up.
two people.
Maybe three.
This is a 3-person
Yeah.
TV. I'm guaranteed 3-person TV.
We need 3 people.
Here's the fun
to
fact
bring
of
this
that.
up the staircase.
No, here's the fun fact on that. I'm so dedicated to this that I got that goddamn TV off the sidewalk in Manhattan in my goddamn Jeep Wrangler by myself. Okay?
I would
That's
too.
impressive.
I took, I had
You could have hurt yourself.
I did. But I got it. And then on the way home, I called a buddy and said, I can't do this twice. Please come over and help me get this thing out. But I mean, like, I've done some crazy shit for this hobby. Really. And that was, 230-pound TV. I got it in the Jeep myself. Because
Fuck that.
no one in Manhattan's going to stop and help you with that shit. I'm just
No.
letting you know now.
No,
They won't.
No.
Not
No.
in
They're
New
going to
York.
look at you. They're going to watch you scream as you blow your back out.
Yeah,
Pull out their phone and take a
Yeah,
picture.
take a picture, yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
That's New York for you.
Yep.
But yeah, the perfect size is what's good for you. There's no perfect in this world.
No, honestly, I was like, surprisingly, I was looking for a CRT TV for the longest time and couldn't find one. Like, I was going to Goodwill's asking them, like, hey, where's your CRTs? They're like, oh, we cut the wires. Like, people donate them. We cut the wires. We package them up, and a truck picks them up. Because, like, I went in the back lot. There's so many good ones. But all the wires were cut, and I'm just like,
Not the end of the world if you want to take the back off the housing.
Either way, I didn't want to steal something from the back either,
It's hard to steal garbage.
Yeah.
No, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. I know you're being sarcastic,
big
but
time.
at the same time, I didn't want to, like, cut their pallet full of TVs with their, like, saran wrap and stuff.
It's only wrong if you get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Let's not bring that whole subject back up. But
I'm
yeah,
just saying.
Let's
just.
keep that to the Uber. Either way, like, I waited for a while. I was like, I got a Sega Saturn that I have 2 good games
Great
that I want to
console.
play, and I don't want to play it obviously on a flat screen, a 60-inch screen. You know, like other systems I'm okay with, but not Sega Saturn.
Saturn is such a beautiful console. You should give it the respect it deserves and get yourself a good CRT.
Exactly. So Kayla and I actually took a bike ride together, like around the block that we live at, and sure enough, I didn't see it. She saw it, and after we rode by it, she was like, "Did you see that TV?" And I was like, "No. What are you talking about?" She's like, "There was a big old TV back there." Sure enough, it was a flat screen RCA, and probably 36-inch. Like, it's a big motherfucker.
Big TV.
Big motherfucker. And it has AV outlets on the front. It has composite in the back. Has S video, I think, too. Like,
Which is the way to go with that, unless you get RGB.
it was insane. Like, I was like, oh my God, and this is free. Like, this is like literally like God answered my prayer that I wanted to see RT, you know, and I found it and I used it probably for 5 hours, and it's been in my eBay room to test out systems, but that's about it. Have not played that much Sega Saturn since, but yeah, I was happy to find it. Like,
It's great to see something get saved. I just
especially like after like
they work, man.
I think it rained a couple times too, probably while this TV was outside, and I was still able to rescue it.
They work.
Yeah.
I mean, like
They're
you got-
beasts.
You got an 80% chance that TV's just fine.
Yeah.
You know, I would always recommend people just grab them off the street.
That's yours.
Yeah, is my phone going off?
No. No, but it looks like mine. I'm looking for mine.
He's talking about phones, guys. We know what ours is really looking like. I want to cut that. It made no sense. Nonsense.
We'll take care of it then.
Nonsense just came out of my
Either way, I
mouth.
need to look for my phone.
So you've been in the community for a while, Jarrett. How's your point of view changed, I guess, since you started collecting to now of the community and I guess maybe video games in general? But I'm sure you view it differently now, huh? You kind of have a following now. You know a lot more people.
There was a golden age for me,
Yeah.
right? Like
So, yeah. Okay.
what all right, so what's good and what's bad about what I'm about to say? The good news is that it's getting popular, meaning the things that I love will be preserved. The bad thing is I'm not the only person who goes looking for games at a garage sale. In fact, people go to garage sales 4 hours prior to them actually starting to knock on people's doors asking for video games.
Wow.
The games I used to buy for $5 because it was an affordable and fun hobby are now going for anywhere from $60 to $150 on average.
Yeah.
It's
Once
not the
again,
same.
good barometer that people appreciate what you're into. Once again, the fun aspects of it, are disappearing.
Yeah.
Socially, maybe what I've noticed a difference in, I'm just a guy who likes to do things. And when I first started socially, there were people out there that I felt really appreciated me as a person, and I developed friendships. And I didn't ask for a page to get big, right? As it got bigger and bigger, I tried to handle it with as much respect as possible and, and not be opinionated or go out there and never be rude to anybody. And I've just noticed that it's just a natural course. There's some jerks that kind of find you. And
Yeah.
so
Definitely.
you know what I mean.
Bigger
So
you get,
the bigger you get,
I didn't think I was that big. And
Yeah, it
I got
happens.
a jerk the other day, and
Yeah.
I was just like, block.
yeah, and that's a great way to handle it, right?
Yeah.
But I have some friends that I made that I think I'll be friends with for life, because of this experience. But I have also seen people say some horrific things to me for absolutely no damn good reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't even I refuse to repeat some of the things that I've seen.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and so it does change you a little in the sense of it's like, all right, it is what it is.
Just because you're doing good, people are going to hate. No
Oh,
matter
yeah,
what.
yeah.
Definitely.
Just
Yeah.
because you're finding good deals and they're not, whatever,
Yeah, I don't care.
or that you have a bigger collection than them. Like, people are going to be jealous and people are going to hate no matter
I
what.
just don't care. I just don't care enough about.
Neither do I.
I'm a very busy person. The last thing I have to in my life is the time to put energy into somebody I don't know.
Yeah.
If I don't like what you're doing in life, I've always been this way. If I don't like your style, I just choose not to have that part of my life.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's my opinion on people who go out of their way to try to hurt you.
Yeah.
Don't really care. I live a big life.
Yeah.
Not because I'm some millionaire or jet setting around the world. I'm pretty average. I live a big life because I pursue things that make me happy. And that's the only goal I have in life.
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like everybody, and I know the two gentlemen I'm sitting with right now share that view. And anyone who will be listening, go for it. Don't give a shit about what people say. Do you? Be good about it. You know what I mean? Like if you treat everybody right in life and you're just pursuing your little piece of the pie, you'll have a good existence.
Think about the
Definitely.
things that you want in life. Like if it's that next video game system that you think is that you can't get for some reason. Like think about it so hard, and I guarantee you that the law of attraction, you will get it. You will find it somehow.
We live in the Matrix, I believe you.
I mean, it's not even that.
It's great.
Like,
I know what
but
you
like
mean.
the law of attraction works. Like
Yeah.
think about the things that you want in life seriously. When it comes to video game collecting, when it comes to anything, like think about the things that you want and you'll get it for sure. I found my wife that way.
I really
straight
do
up.
believe that, man.
Yeah.
I really do believe it. It doesn't mean that your life is just going to be, this blessed thing that nothing bad ever
Yeah,
comes
you got to
your way.
work for it.
You got to work for it. But if your mindset is to achieve something and you don't let negativity surround that thought in your mind, it works.
Don't go on Instagram and diss on people.
Well, actually, but it maybe go better. Don't go on Instagram looking for validation.
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
please
Don't do anything in this world for validation.
Does
you-
not matter.
You know
in
what's
the long
right and
run.
wrong.
Be true to yourself.
You
right?
know what's right and wrong in this world. People know what's right and wrong. As long as you fall under them.
Well, to some people,
Guidelines.
I mean, to some people, validation that's not wrong or right to them. Like that doesn't mean shit to them. But I see it all the time that like they take so much concern into Instagram and followers and likes and this and that, and really like when it comes to video game collecting, and like this is what I'm talking about, like collecting video games and sharing video games, like they share it. They share the games that they have. They share their collection. They share their game room. But at the same time, it's like, are you even enjoying what you're sharing right now, or are you just enjoying
get
the
away
likes?
from you.
You know,
It could get away from you.
and it hurts me. Like it hurts me because I'm like, yo, fucking like share your shit, but then get the fuck off of Instagram. Like fucking actually enjoy your game room and play that game through, or like at least beat the next boss. Like play something. Don't just fucking take pictures. Like pictures are great to share, but play your fucking games.
Or if you're the way I look at it is, if you enjoy taking pictures, take pictures.
yeah.
If you enjoy playing games and
Play
games.
Pokemon Snap if you enjoy taking pictures.
If you're a minimalist, be a minimalist. If you are a collector, be a collector.
Right.
But what you shouldn't be doing in life is being a minimalist so someone else accepts you. You shouldn't be a collector so other people accept you. And that's the thing. And never be a goddamn elitist if you're at my level.
What's that mean?
Like my
Yeah,
thing,
what do you mean
like
by that
I'll be straight
exactly?
up, like I have a very big collection. That doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Does it mean
It doesn't
anything?
make you
It does.
better than the next
It
guy.
doesn't mean a damn thing. So if you have a lot or if you have a little, be you.
Dude, you're one of the most humble people that I've ever met. Honestly, like to invite us into your household, to meet me, a few months ago for this trade. Like obviously you wanted my World of Nintendo cabinet, but like we were talking months before that. Like you're a very humble motherfucking dude, and I appreciate that. Like you care about this community, and I can't express into words like how much I care about you and people like you in this community, because I want to be that part. Like I feel like I am that part, but I want to keep fucking being a good part into this retro community. And I want this retro community to fucking keep going places where we can trust each other, where we can do trades, where we can like each other's photos, like as simple as that, like I want to do it all and I want people to respect it all.
I think you're doing a great job, and I just personally think that everybody, myself and you, and you just keep things in mind, right? You're doing this thing because you like it.
Yeah.
And if you meet a good person and you connect with that person, help each other out.
Hell yeah. You helped me out, dude.
And you've helped me out. And
no, you helped me out so much.
If you just do that, right, then you are doing a major thing for a community.
Yeah.
If you see someone not acting right, you know what I mean? You shouldn't deal with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how you fix, issues in a community.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
be a normal person.
Just being a normal person.
Don't deal with them, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
And for all intents and purposes, this might be one of the biggest communities in the world. People just don't realize it yet,
Yeah.
because for the
I
last
agree
40
with that.
for the last 40 years, people have been engaging with this form of media. So it really resonates with a lot more people than you realize. It's
Yeah.
just some are a little bit more hardcore than others. But I can set up a TV on the street in Manhattan, and I can play Sonic the Hedgehog, and I guarantee you that the age bracket's going to be from 60 to 4, and people are going to stop and look.
Oh,
and
yeah.
some people are going to stop and play.
Yeah.
So this could be one of the biggest communities on the planet. It's a form of media.
It
That's what
is.
the hell
And I
it is.
think it's a media that will keep growing no matter what.
It's going to start to meld. I think that we're...
No, I think, if anything, it has not plateaued in any sense.
No, I don't think it'll plateau.
It's growing. So that's it.
Fuck Fortnite.
Yeah.
Did I say that? That came out of my mouth?
Fuck Fortnite.
And I never liked Smash. Oh, let's get controversial. Oh, I'm not a Smash player. I'm not a Smash player. I'm never going to be
a.
a...
Suck. It's all right.
I suck at life.
I like it.
Only good decision I ever made was not getting into Smash. No, I don't know why. I just never. That game never did it for me. I love. A community I really dig is the Smash Melee community. They keep that shit going. I respect that.
Yeah, it's not in the next like big like whatever console battle like.
Yeah.
It's not for some reason.
It's straight up grassroots community at this point. I
think
respect
they're like
them.
trying to transfer it to the Switch version.
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of
Oh,
Melee.
I think it's a natural transition now.
It should be.
Yeah, the ultimate, from what I understand, and like I said, I'm not a Smash player. I don't care about what people think about me. I don't play Smash. From what I understand, the latest Smash is incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
you
a lot
don't
of
have
fun.
it?
I don't have it. I'm not a Smash player. Not a Smash player.
So good.
Well, it's fun to play with your friends
Yeah.
and talk shit.
This is why do I like that?
And you
I
can
mean,
talk
like-
shit on an app that will keep kicking you off because you're talking shit on the app. Nintendo like sees you screaming and it's like, nope, you're off.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't.
like
I
if
don't
you
like
say
that.
like stupid or dumb or fat
Or
on it.
fuck.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, you can
it's
say
fun,
fuck.
though.
I think
I don't
You can
know.
say fuck, but you can't say fat.
you can't call someone stupid. Like you can't
I
be
don't
a
know.
bully.
It
you
kept
know?
kicking us off.
All right,
We loved it.
maybe
though.
let's talk about something bigger than gaming. Hypersensitivity.
Either way, I mean,
You're getting-
Love this game.
You're getting kicked off of a game because you called someone fat.
You know
It's
how
Nintendo.
Nintendo is.
I don't give a shit who. What? Like, are you kidding me? Did you see the racist cliches
Well,
and
we all
Punch
grew
Out?
up with it.
That's sort of like, no, like, I'm sorry. I think that's crazy. I think that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
You gotta understand. I grew up watching Bronx Yankees baseball, right? And I used to watch guys sitting right next to their kids screaming, "Fucking kill 'em," and that was New York to me, right?
Yeah.
And you go to a Yankee game, you were supposed to be mean to the other players.
Yeah.
You're a fucking Yankee fan. You're in the South Bronx. Now you go to the stadium and now you can't curse. You can't curse.
Really?
Yeah, ushers will come and tell you can't curse. And I'm the last person that advocates bullying. But, like, to call someone fat and get kicked off a game, maybe we've reached a point where that's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Maybe no one will want to talk to me after this
Well,
podcast.
they
but
call
I
I
don't
mean,
care.
it's Nintendo
They call them
for you.
social justice warriors.
Ah,
right? People who-
SJWs? Yeah.
Call people out because
Yeah,
they think they're
okay.
doing a justice to
Okay.
society or whatever.
All right, I live the lifestyle they preach. Let me tell you something. And I'm I'm tired of that. That's just ridiculous.
Dude, it is. I think we're gonna get it has to get better at some point, right? But I know what you mean. It
That's
is a
insane.
bit ridiculous, everything.
Yeah, you know what? I would take that game. I'd throw it out the window if that's what. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just
almost infuriated.
It's just the voice chat app.
Yeah,
like
it's the voice
censors
chat
it.
app.
But I think Nintendo specifically is geared, a lot towards younger kids. Like
Yeah.
they make it more accessible for.
It's not younger kids. They want it to be family friendly. Like they.
You know how many times my mom called me stupid?
Just enough so that you knew you had to
Yeah.
smarten the fuck up.
Yeah. And trust me, my dad called me fat. He wasn't lying. I really let myself go. I don't know. It just seems crazy to me, and I feel like I should have a moment where I could actually be a jerk and have an opinion about something.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, no, it's a different time, and I think you got to be honest with people. If they're stupid, you got to tell them they're stupid.
Damn
If they're
right.
fat, you got to tell them they're fat.
Damn right. There's no second place.
That's why we
trophies
all
here.
these, people running around that think it's okay to be stupid
No.
or whatever.
There's nothing good about being ignorant. I'll tell you that right now. You should go out of your way to be highly educated. You should educate yourself on
Yeah,
anything and everything
I
you
agree.
can. Damn
If you
right.
can, yeah,
You're damn right. Wow, that got me angry.
it's all right.
Fired up.
Woo. Almost as angry as that as you guys were about Tetris.
No, only Tony is angry about Tetris.
Dude, I don't get angry. I think it's stupid though.
See, you're stupid. He just blocked you. I just pulled his mic.
Yeah, just.
Cord out of his mic now.
So what's your future goals when it comes to collecting, to like what you're doing, this and that? Like, have you even told us like what you're actually doing with your collection?
So right now, my ultimate goal would be to have a full-blown museum.
Which you almost had.
I wouldn't say it was full. I wouldn't say it's full blown. I was in an art gallery and my collection was on display to the public for a year. It wasn't
It was
stable.
beautiful.
It wasn't. It was great. Every week though we had to move it around. People don't realize like how many hours I put into Super Chief Art Gallery. I was ready to fall on my face. By the end of the experience. Super Chief Art Gallery, the people there were great. The environment wasn't. It was an art gallery. Art is disposable, right? We're preservationists. There's a big difference, right? Like the art world is bring in a whole collection, bring it out. Make this room look like this week. You can't do that and be a preservationist. What the members of Team One Upham and I personally had to go through to make that work was almost inhuman. So we had to end it. You know what I mean? Like I said, as far as the people of Super Chief Art Gallery, nothing bad to say about them. Super Chief Art Gallery as an art gallery, amazing place. Absolutely top of the game, what they do. Just not good for video game collection.
Yeah.
So we had to move that. So I ended up working with Aviator Sports, which is a sports facility. It's completely geared towards families. So now I have a 20-foot office trailer full of video game equipment, and we're starting to slowly do events there now. And soon we'll be doing like a little micro museum.
Where's this at?
It's in Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn.
Okay.
It's really, it's a really amazing facility. They have 2 skating rinks there. They have hockey games there all night. You have 20 basketball courts. They do events all summer. I mean, the place is massive. It's 175,000 square feet. But what was an interesting pitch that we had when I was sitting there with the CEOs there, I explained to them that this not every child is inherently gifted at sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is something where everyone's got an equal playing field. And I was like, and we could do a lot because maybe we can reach a child and say, okay, are you interested by these video games? Did you realize if you're musically inclined, you can be, creating music for this genre? Or if you're art, you can do, artistic, you could be doing art for these companies.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you are curious about how these apparatuses work, would you like to become an electrical engineer, which is something that we're truly in need of in this country? That was the conversations that we're having. So we're working towards doing things like that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a slow process, but like I said, my collection's
beautiful,
there,
man.
and we're working on it.
So how would people go see it? They just show up, or?
Well, right now you'll start to Aviator's just starting to dip their toe into the event process.
Okay.
So it'll be more about an event by event situation.
Yeah.
But probably over the next few months, you'll start to hear me start talking about permanent installations that we're doing in areas in this giant facility.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That sounds great.
It's like there's not much to show people right now. You know what I mean? We didn't disappear. We didn't stop doing what we're doing. We're in a weird building process.
Yeah.
And, you know, Instagram might not be the popular platform by the time I'm ready to go, but I'm doing it. You know, that's it. Whether I might not be a person that's in front of a camera.
Yeah.
But I promise you for the rest of my life, I'm going to be working with people doing this thing. That's where I'm at personally. And that's when you asked me earlier in this very long conversation we're having, what is Team 1UP? It's just a living organism that has one thing in common for everything it does. It likes to engage with people. It likes to preserve history. And maybe someday, somehow, some way, we're going to do something good with it. Actually changes some lives.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you already have. I mean, I'm sure you've touched more than one person playing video games on the sidewalk or whatever, you know.
I've seen some special moments, man. I
Yeah.
got to tell you, if I hung it up today and just went back to being a completely private person, which I was when I started this,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. I did have some really awesome moments. Like I don't regret any of this. But I'm ready for a little vacation.
Oh yeah. I mean, you touched me, dude. Like,
Didn't sound right. That's because I'm currently touching him right now.
yeah, no, it's not. But
Well,
you touched me when it comes to collecting and Instagram and this and that. Like, I feel like I'm part of Team 1UP. You know.
You are, man. Listen. At some point, Team 1UP is just gonna you might see me one day just give the page to somebody. You know, like honestly, like
And
Team
I don't.
1UP.
I mean, I don't give a fuck about that.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
I
Like
feel
Team
like
1UP
it's just
is
like a way of thought. Like right now,
Yeah.
like it's just like, oh, you're a collector, you're a gamer. Like you want to be a part of this, and you have good vibes all the way around. Like that's Team 1UP.
Well, that's what I mean. Like Team 1UP is not me. Like you know what I mean? Like
No,
Team
it's a
1UP,
collective.
it's just a collective of people. I do want to say on a side note, you know, I don't know how fast you're gonna get this out. The last 2 months I have been very not active, talking to people. I've been going through some shit personally, and I do want to
You've been
like,
there.
yeah, everyone's
worry
got
about
some
it.
stuff going on. So I do want to say to some people out there that actually have been really good to me over the years. I'll be back. You know, I'll be very active real soon. And I miss a lot of my friends over on IG. So soon.
Everyone's going to listen to this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, this is cool, man.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this: you are as much of 1UP as I am, and even Tony over there, the good-looking Tony.
well, thank you.
Tetra Satan, motherfucking Tony.
99.
You are 1UP too.
You're 1UP, man.
I agree, man.
I'm honored.
Yo, Tony is 100 all the way.
Boom.
But yeah, thank you, Jay. Like, thank you for saying that. I mean, I already felt it. You know, like I was already there. Like it's all about the community, and it's all about caring about other people that care about the things that you care about. You know, like
Dude, 1UP might come and go, man, but then it's just gonna be Boo doing his podcast, and then it's gonna be
Bo,
someone else.
not
Bo.
Boo.
I always call you Boo because you're my Boo.
All right, I like
Get
it.
over it, man.
All right, I'm
I
over
get
it.
so upset when I call him Boo.
Either
but you
way,
know,
yeah.
But I just feel like whatever it is I'm doing doesn't really matter, as long as there's just somebody else doing something cool.
Yeah.
You know, and good. That's what matters, man. And you both are doing something pretty dope.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being on Precisely Podcast. Do you want to shout out your?
It's Blue Kiss to you.
You want to shout out your IG?
My IG. If you'd like to have a conversation about gaming or anything in particular, my
Sounds
page
super
is
sexual.
my page is my page is Team 1UP'em. It's TEAMUP number 1 EM. But however, like if you need help with anything, all jokes aside, if you do need help with anything, if you have a question about anything retro in any way,
Super retro.
feel free. Yeah, super retro. Feel free to hit me up. I will answer any messages that
does.
come in. Yeah, actually, that's how
He
me.
answered my questions.
That's how
we met. Yeah.
my Bo the Boo
Yeah.
got talking.
Yep.
You know, yeah, you just hit me up. Trust me, I will make time. I will make time.
I mean, we really appreciate you having us in your household, seeing your collection, hanging out, drinking beer, having food, having fun, joking, all that. Thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you, actually.
Thank you for being a part of this retro community, and this community alone, and being a part of Precisely Podcast,
Well, listen, man, I think it's time to maybe sign off because I just want to say I appreciate this, guys. Thank you. That's a handshake. That's how
Yep.
we end this right here.
Thank you. So follow us.
So follow Jay at Team One Up 'em. That's Jaybaam. You can follow us at Precisely Podcast on Instagram. And Bo is at Bo's Game Room. I'm at Precisely_Tony. Thanks, guys.
Precisely.
We out.